There we go. Partha, Protein, Baija. Love from India. Counterpunch to you. Now, Feed the Bear. How's that? Can everybody see me? Can everybody see me now? My check, my check. Let's do this. All right. Can you see my icon? Smith and West. I just wanted undisputed this year. I'll take it in December. Fury versus Wilder. Winner, book your flight and meet us there. Well, Wilder. Look. Yes, all good. Good. We're in there. We're in here. Karn O'Connor, counterpunch to you. Counterpunch to you. So we have the fight from the Bronzebomber. And it's weird. A lot of people think he's going to actually take step aside money. Now, guys, hit that like button when you come in. Let's hit that like button. But 90, counterpunch to you, brother. Counterpunch to you. If you see me in the forest fighting a bear, help the bear because he will need it. I heard that. Lee Sewell, counterpunch to you. Young Haiti, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. I mean, everything's happening. Charlie Hooper from New Zealand in the house. So we have Fury versus Wilder 3. What's next for Anthony? Okay. Anthony should continue doing his job. That's what he should do. No. If Wilder loses, will he get a fourth chance? No, he won't. But the question is, if Fury loses, does he get a fourth chance? Think about it. First fight was a draw. Second fight was Fury. What if Wilder lands one of those bomb squad haymakers? Right? Takes Fury out. Then what happens to Wilder? Wilder becomes the 2-time heavyweight WBC champion once again. Noop. I have total respect for your channel. Keep up the good work. Appreciate you, Noop or Noope. I don't know which one. You pray Wilder does. Aminu Abba. He says, I pray Wilder does. So that means he lands one of those haymaker punches, you know. And that could happen, you know. And I bet you this. I bet you Wilder won't come in with a fucking costume. I bet you, you know, I hope Wilder comes in with the bronze face mask. Not the Statue of Liberty, not the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle shredder looking shit, but the bronze face mask. That's what I want to see him in. With just a regular fucking robe or whatever else he used to wear, like the cutoff shit, you know, the sleeveless robes or whatnot, that has no bells, no whistles, a little glitter. Go figure, right? Ooh. Fury won't win the trilogy. Now, just guys, give me a yes or a no. What are the odds of that actually happening? In fact, I'm going to make a poll. Why not? I like polls. Polls are good. Polls are real good. Even though guys don't get notification, everybody gets the community. It's weird. The community tab is undefeated by YouTube. But what's the odds of these guys are Fury losing the third fight? And see, my whole thing was, I'm like, well, once Anthony Joshua's name became attached, okay? Once it became attached, I think at that point, Tyson Fury should have been making preparations to fight Wilder then. And I know it went back and forth between certain dates, venues, situations. I know that happened. I know that whole thing. I know the story. But once a fight of that magnitude was introduced, I think Team Fury should have just cleaned up their mess, got everything out of the way. Because at that point, then, they were offering, or the rumor allegedly were offering Wilder step aside money way back then, if you guys can remember, right? Yeah, those motherfuckers. Look. If Wilder wins, they should fight a fourth time. Now that's if Fury wants it. He might not want it after that. You know what I mean? We got a super chat in the house from D-Town Blaster. Fury knew this. The fight and venue made it too quick. D-Town Blaster, I 100% agree. How many of you guys agree that this shit was probably staged the whole time? Give me a yes or a no. Do you guys think that this fight was staged the whole time? What's up, Counterpunch Boxing? Wilder will freeze. Wilder will freeze once he gets punched. From there, nothing but flashbacks to the second fight with Fury. Rob Grant. Who knows? Who knows? I mean, because it could be a little drama there. Diehard Knicks fan since I was swimming in the sack says, definitely staged. I knew this. We all should have known this. Hey, by now, you can't put anything past that. And you really think about it, guys. Let's be real. Let's be real. How in the hell did two promoters let one promoter do all the work for a fight that they claimed they wanted, or they claimed it actually was going to make or take place? Think about it. Like, it didn't occur to anybody like that, like the negativity for one. They were talking against the fight. They were talking about a tune-up fight. Remember the tune-up fight? John Fury started that. Tyson Fury then, what's the word? Implied it with other people. Oh, I don't think the fight's going to happen. Who's that? Who's this guy? I don't really think the fight's going to happen because Rob McCracken. Excuse? I don't think the fight's going to happen because we clearly, I don't think it's going to happen between July and August. I just don't see it. Who's that? Lady Shandin, they're all fucking liars. No. They're all fucking liars. I mean, just what's the odds of that? Where's the money? The fight's not going to happen. Eddie Hearn can't make this shit happen. All right? Then all of a sudden, cheap-ass Bob Arum, you can't pay Sean Porter $3 million to fight Terrence Crawford, but you have a reserved fucking venue already, like now? Damn, we just found out about what shit 15, 16 hours ago, like yesterday, midday. you know, you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. Bob played us. I believe he knew the judge was going to play in favor of Wilder. I just know it. Eddie kept saying 2 weeks because Bob was stalling until May. How can you book the stadium so quickly? Michael Buffer, I have no idea how can you do that fast. That motherfucker said abracadabra, and then the shit's reserved for Wilder Fury 3. But you guys remember something. He gave you a hint on the shit that was to come when he all of a sudden, well, maybe we'll consider a Wilder 3. You guys remember that? Can you guys tell me yes or no? Did you guys remember Bob Arum about 3 weeks ago saying Fury should fight Wilder a third time? We're open to that fight. You remember that? We got a super chat. Pete Geary. Only way see Fury versus AJ ever happening if Fury signs with Eddie, and I think that unlikely may be one of the fights that never happens. He's not going to sign with Eddie. He's not going to sign with Eddie Hearn, especially after his fellow Gypsy got beat up. You know, everybody's going to blame Hearn for Canelo beating Billy Joe. When you guys have time, man, go check out the interview that I did with Pro Bees in fucking January. I told people this shit would happen. Now, I'm not, and everybody knows I'm not a hater. I never hated on AJ or Fury. I never hated on the idea of that fight. I never hated on that. But I knew it was something funny about mediation, then all of a sudden arbitration. If the shit was cut and dry, it should have stopped at mediation, right? It should have stopped at that point. It didn't have to go that far. Now it's arbitration, and then they're like, okay, well, what's taking so long for the arbitration? See, here's the thing. If somebody's guilty, there's no need to go back and elaborate. Well, you see, well, I think, no, it's guilty. They don't take 12 jurors to go in there and sit in a room and try to figure out if a person's guilty if they already know that he's guilty. That makes no sense. You know, so it is what it is. King Mike Hall, if you can't keep Canelo honest, he will pummel you. Facts. Smith and West, the plan was to stage the fight. Blame AJ for ducking, but Team AJ pulled off the deal of the century. Now they're scrambling. Smith and West, awesome counterpunch, brother. See, don't you guys see how all of this unfolded? They expected one guy to do something that they did not. They didn't even expect him to do it. That was the whole thing. They wanted Eddie Hearn to go out there on his own, and they were convinced that he couldn't do the shit. They were convinced that Eddie Hearn couldn't do this deal. A young, dumb, full of you know what. He couldn't do this deal by himself, right? And they sat back, judged, ridiculed, doubted, hated, but not anticipated. Bars, right? These guys did everything that they possibly wanted to do to keep this fight not from fucking happening, but claim they wanted it to happen. Man, that shit don't even make sense right there. I don't think this fight's going to happen. I don't have the money, but Eddie Hearn, he says one thing. And then all of a sudden he got quiet because you know why he got so quiet? You know why Frank Warren got so quiet? You know why John Fury got so quiet? You know why they got so quiet? Because they were like, this bastard's actually gonna fucking pull it off. Right. Why do you think the closer this fight came to getting done, the more weirder they became? It's called concern. Right. And when I say concern, I'm being facetious. It's called fucking scared. It's called fear. Okay. And they didn't know what to do because it's like they knew this fight wasn't going to happen. They knew it was some other shit that was brewing. It was a huge possibility of this going down, and they knew that. They knew that shit. They knew that Eddie Hearn sitting there spinning his wheels, making these deals, and they letting one man do it. Because see, look, let me tell you something. If more people were involved, then that means that either they would have done something to sabotage, to make it look like Eddie Hearn wasn't doing it if they were both involved. Think about the Eddie Hearn, Shelly Finkel situation, right? It was Eddie Hearn sending contracts. How many fucking contracts did Shelly Finkel send Team Joshua on the behalf of Deontay Wilder? They couldn't even fucking send a contract for $50 million. But in this case, because it was two different promoters, it was a side not participating when they should have been participating. But in this case, they let one guy, one side, move. None, exactly. Nobody sent contracts anywhere. But now you had Eddie Hearn getting with Saudi Arabian's finest, richest, to stage a fight based off him, and he can do it all by him damn self, and that's what he did. And once that happened, once Tyson Fury was like, well, damn, now I have confirmation that this shit's actually going to happen, he forgot that he had obligations in court with someone else. But the whole thing is, hey, at the end of the day, the possibility of AJ fighting Fury is still this year. So you talked up a fucking fight that you knew that wasn't going to happen anyway, right? Only to have another fight, because you know if the fight is still on and the Saudis are willing to put up the money in December, just like December when Joshua fought Ruiz, then that means they're using that fucking fight to sell the fight that supposedly contract expired on. Think about what I'm saying. So you guys use Joshua or Team Joshua to fucking promote a fight that you claim wasn't ever going to happen, but you knew that was going to happen. The contract's expired. I don't know what the hell. And Bob Arum's good friend is the one that ruled it. So how did he know that shit was going to happen or wasn't going to happen? Get the fuck out of here. You cannot bullshit me with that. Bruce Leroy, the real McCoy, bars. Fury versus Wilder already have a venue. Fury never intended to fight AJ. Hearn got played. Yep. I mean, that's safe to say. I mean, how am I going to disagree with that, Bruce? I can't. I mean, there's nothing else. And see, Wilder was sitting back, like, hey, you know what? These motherfuckers are trying to get over on me and they think they're getting away. Look, but that's the story and the legend of the Bronze Bomber. See, a lot of people think that certain things are going certain ways. In this situation, Wilder was right. When I saw that, I had to agree. Why? Because it's right. You signed a contract with this man. You fight this man. No ifs, ands, buts about it. You signed a fucked up contract where you had to be dancing partners with this guy forever. So guess what? You gotta own up to it. It's in writing. You know what I mean? Antonio Matthews. Hearn would be a damn fool to deal with these clowns again. Got played like a trick. Antonio, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. Why? Because, okay, I don't see how Eddie's so calm about this whole situation anyway. I would be pissed. Why? Because I did all this work and they talked all that shit, and these ass clowns lied to me. They lied to Eddie. That's not going to be a problem. Now, just to find out that nothing to worry about is becoming the one thing that stops this fight from happening. We got a super chat, Amok PvP. Come on, Kurt. Title is misleading. You have to beat a legend to be a legend. Unfortunately, beating Ortiz or having a draw against Fury doesn't cement that. Amok PvP. The counterpunch you. Appreciate the super chat. However, this is the deal. This is the counterpunch. The legend comes from what you do outside the ring as well. See, Muhammad Ali did shit outside of the ring. Okay. And see, the amazing thing about this amok PvP, everybody thought Wilder was out of his mind for making all those crazy ass allegations. So they automatically wrote him off. Because they were like, well, you know what? You're talking that crazy. That means you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Okay, you're just nuts. No. Shut up. Spike water, denton head. I don't hear that. Autopsies, get the fuck out of here. No. So they didn't consider the possibility of them going to court and actually winning because of all the other shit that was going on. That was the thing. All the other shit that was going on around with Wilder and all the craziness and all the propaganda and all the shit that was coming out, right? Nobody really took him seriously at that. So they were like, you know what? He's half fucking crazy anyway. So of course he would go to the courts when it's an unwinnable case. Counterpunch boxing news. Outside the ring, Wilder is a self-entitled diva. Well, that self-entitled diva has his fight. And here's the thing. You got to be one hell of a diva to go back into the ring and fight somebody that beat your ass like Tyson Fury did his. Counterpunch. Mm-hmm. Joshua needs to take the Vlad route from now on. Just fight your Mandos. I'm for that. That's all I wanted. Look, Joshua fought Pulev. Why not fight Alexander Usyk? Yes, it's a tough fucking road. Yes, these guys are elite guys, but you are an elite fighter. You're an elite champion. That's why you make the bucks. That's why you make the money. And it's another thing you want to talk about, Eddie Hearn, right? Eddie Hearn is a guy that maybe he's not mad, because I just thought of this. Maybe Eddie Hearn's not as pissed off because he was doing something that he loves to do and he was able to actually pull it off. Maybe that's that. We got another super chat from Matt Cedillo. More like the underlying infamy of the Bronzebomber. This conspiracy stuff has turned a portion of boxing fans into some flat earth cult sounding idiots. He has changed landscape for the worse. Well, it is like a big soap opera at this point, ain't it, Matt? It's crazy. It's like a big soap opera when you hear stories after stories after stories, and the shit gets tiring. It does. Because it's almost like, well, wait a minute. He said this now? Oh, okay, well, that is happening now? Well, wait a minute. I thought this is over here. You know, everything's different from day to day. You know, the sport of boxing is just like the way Tyson Fury thinks. It changes every day. It's like the mentality of Tyson Fury. That's how the sport of boxing is getting. You don't know what the hell you're going to get from one day to the next, from this week to the next. 2 weeks, it could be just like this. And it's crazy. I won't pay money for a third Wilder Fury fight. You know, when Deontay Wilder exercised his contract, I was excited for this, just the trash talk. And then especially when all this other shit popped off, because then I wanted to see Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder really go at it and really have some powerhouse, you know, back and forth, heated debates over being cheated, over this or over that. So if it happens, at least we still get it. But the problem with this shit is we've got this shit for 3 fucking times already. But I will say this. If Wilder loses, it's almost like this is pretty much his last, like, straw to pull. It is. Because if he loses again to Tyson Fury, all the shit that happened in the second fight and the shit they claim happened in the first fight, it goes right out the window. People are going to look at those excuses like, oh, shut up, bullshit, stop. If he loses again, now if he hits Wilder Fury, he'll be back on fucking top. He'll be a 2-time heavyweight WBC champion. And see, with all this shit and that we've been through, all these negotiations, to come to find out Wilder fucking won anyway. So yeah, he won outside the ring because he won his opportunity to fight this time. And you have to think about Wilder, though. Wilder's been fucked over by Fury. Fury fucks over people. Oh yeah, he fucks over people royally. Look what he did with Vladimir Klitschko. They had him behind the gloves. They had all these promotions and all this shit. And then Fury pulled the fuck out. Pulled out to get fucking high and drunk and whatever. He pulled out of the fight. Okay. So this time, at least, some justice was served. This is justice. Okay. And then the thing about Wilder now was able to do something that Vladimir Klitschko couldn't even get him to do. Right? Even though he fucked over him this time. He did. He fucked over him this time. I mean, last time where he joined ESPN, then try to counter offer him a deal. But, you know, of course, Jonathan Jerome, appreciate that super chat, brother. And, of course, Wilder didn't take it. So that was the first draw. Okay? So Tyson Fury, he knows what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's doing. So this time you can pull that shit with, oh, I can do what I want. Fuck you. I'm out. I can do this. I can do that. You can do that shit for only so long, but pretty soon the shit's going to come get you. You know what I mean? Pretty soon. And that's what happened. So Wilder deserved his shot. People, we can't be mad about that shit. Surprised? Yeah. Shocked? Yeah. Why? Because we had a fight that everybody wanted to see for the progression of boxing. However, what's right is right. Is it against the streams? Absolutely. But it is what it is. Armies. Either way, AJ will only improve in the time it takes for an undisputed fight. The more he improves, the harder he'll become to beat. Just my opinion. Appreciate your opinion, brother. Thank you for that super chat. I think he's right. And Anthony Joshua himself has said, hey, the longer you wait, the worse it's going to be for you. Because he's getting better, sharpening up on the skills. You know, it is what it is. Kurt and everyone else, don't worry. Undisputed will happen. I'm going to send you a link, Kurt. It makes sense. And Fury don't have to honor the judge's ruling. Wow. Well, here's the thing, Nikki. If he doesn't honor the ruling, what would be any different? I mean, will he do anything any different than he's already done in the last 6 years? He might say, you know what? Fuck that ruling. And I'll do what I want. I'm the Gypsy King. I'm the lineal champ. But here's the question. If some type of way the WBC becomes involved, and I don't really know if they will, because see, if the fight, because who's really stopping the Joshua Fury fight? You know what I mean? Like, who's really stopping it? Is it Fury? I mean, is it Wilder with the ruling of the judge? In other words, what are the consequences for Tyson Fury saying, you know what, fuck that ruling, Bob, let's sign the contract, let's fight Anthony Joshua in August? Then what will happen? What would be the result of that? That's the question you ask yourself. What would be the result? Dylan Wade, I have no interest in Wilder Fury 3 and don't see how Wilder wins, but I hope he does win because all of the drama Arum put us through and the fans. Well, Bob Arum was wrong for that. He was wrong for using a young man on a fight that he knew that was more than likely not going to happen. But I just don't see how the WBC can become involved with this particular fight unless Tyson Fury doesn't fight a mandatory. You know what I mean? So I think But Mauricio did say he would have to fight someone. So that someone would have to be whoever the mandatory was. Does that make sense? Feed the Bear, Big Kurt, best channel on YouTube. God bless. God bless you back, brother. Thank you for the love. Feed the Bear. Super chat with that dove. Let's see. Look at Deontay. It could be that he is the one who faces AJ. Okay. He still has the knockout power. I think the Gypsy King should win, but anything can happen in boxing. Charlie Torre. Absolutely right. Now, see, it's one of those it's a gambling thing worried about a strong ass right hand all night. But if you guys notice, Wilder's using jabs, double hooks to the body, right hooks to the body, left hooks to the body. You know, which I see he's looking at and he's improving. All right. Dion W with this super chat. What if Wilder knocks Fury out? Do you think we will be looking at a fourth fight since they will be 1-1? I'm excited for the trilogy, but not a fourth. Well, Dion, here's the thing. If Tyson Fury loses, I don't think Deontay Wilder will fight him a fourth time. But then again, if you're Deontay Wilder and you do that, would you want to? That's the question. If you were Team Wilder and he goes in there and knocks out Tyson Fury, then all that other shit that he's talking about. See, I told you he was a pillar puncher. I told you he couldn't punch. I told you he cheated me. That's why I know he couldn't punch. You know, that type of shit. You see, my face, nothing wrong with it. No dents. But I did it his head ass in. I did it his head ass in. You know? And then after that, he will get his revenge. He was the WBC. Tyson Fury's not a mandatory. The contract is fulfilled. The one that's supposed to expire. And look, and then Deontay Wilder does whatever he wants to do at that point. So he may not fight Tyson Fury because he felt, well, the only reason Tyson Fury beat me because he cheated. So then I came in, I knocked his ass out. Okay, that's what happened. That's the end result. That's the end result. Yes, he has a new trainer, and his name is Malik Scott. Feed the Bear in with another super chat. Big Fury to beat Wilder by KO. Wow. Now, there's the flip side. Like Feed the Bear said, if Fury goes in there and beats Wilder up, guess what? People like, you know what? And how many people will say this? I seen that shit coming anyway. But if it happens, would people be surprised? Would people be surprised if Fury goes in there and beats the shit out of him? You know who would be surprised? The usual suspects. The people that thought the conspiracies was true. The people that thought that Tyson Fury, all of a sudden he was wearing Paffin gloves and he never ever wore Paffin gloves. And I can tell you that's a lie right there. He was wearing Paffin gloves when he fucking sparred Anthony Joshua in 2010. Facts. He's wearing Paffin gloves now. On the last, when he had his fucking his love handles shaking like titties, right? Which I'm gonna have a funny video, man. I gotta post, show it to you guys. But his hands, you know, he was wearing Paffin gloves then. And in fact, when he sparred the kid that said he took the cushion out, Ashbury or whatever, when he sparred him, he was wearing the Everlast Power Lock gloves. Okay, that's what they were called. And they're notorious from wearing out, so that you know. So I don't buy into that shit. But if Tyson Fury goes in there and beats Wilder up, it's a slippery slope. It's it's a fight to watch. Why? Because it's so much shit riding behind it. Those new fundamentals will go out of the window once he's pressured, I believe. Only time will tell, though. If Wilder wins, he probably won't fight AJ, to be honest. If he doesn't fight AJ, has he ever fought AJ? He can talk. Look, if you were a guy and you know that your popularity soared by talking about a fighter that you never fight, why would you have to fight that fighter? Wilder has made his millions off talking about Anthony Joshua, so why would you have to fight Anthony Joshua to actually get the millions? You got the millions. So if he does knock out Tyson Fury will be his legacy. Him, Luis Ortiz, and a guy that accused him of beating up his wife or some shit, Dominic Brazil. You're in trouble. You're in trouble. I'm gonna knock your ass out. That's what he did. So, but why would you fight Joshua? He could retire. Olin Rifle, he coming in with that super chat. What gets me is, though, the length of time it took for the arbitration ruling. The ruling should have been made months ago. Olin Rifle, you are 100% in for that counterpunch. Great counterpunch. See, Mr. Weinstein, I'm really just baffled to know. I would love to talk to this guy because what fucking took so long? I'm with Olin. Shout outs to you, Olin. First of all, thank you for the love, man. Thank you for the love. But why would you wait this long to give us something that we thought that was going to be over quickly? He could have made that determination quickly. Was it other factors that they couldn't get? Was it the info that they needed they couldn't get at this time? Up until this time, they finally got it. Was that it? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what took this long to make this type of decision. This damn near June. You know what I mean? But in January, I told people, I told people whoever would listen, check out the interview on Pep Talk UK because he reposted it. Something I said months ago back in January on the 5th to be exact. Okay, I'm good with numbers and dates. I try to be, right? But I told people, I'm like, yo, it's more to this shit, so stay tuned. Big Fury to KO AJ. Wow. Well, Feed the Bear. Appreciate the love. In with that $20 dove. Bars. Well, hey, he has to fight AJ first. Or better yet, he has to beat Wilder first. Or should I say again? Right? Before he can get to AJ. And then AJ has to take on Usyk. And people are sleeping on that shit. You guys are sleeping on the Usyk. Usyk is one of those guys that made Vladimir Klitschko look foolish in a media workout. Vladimir Klitschko, let me tell you something. Vladimir Klitschko, Vitalik Klitschko, they were tyrants. They were tyrants for a reason. Not just because they were beating everybody up. Yeah, they had an upset here and upset there. They were beating everybody. They were dominating people. But it was what they did outside the ring. They hoarded young heavyweights and shipped them over like fucking cattle to beat the piss out of them in Germany. If you guys don't know that, I mean, that was when Wilder was supposed to be knocked out by Vladimir, if you guys remember that and all that, right? That was along that time and all that took place. That's when Vladimir was just beating the shit out of these guys because he was using them as practice. Well, he couldn't do that shit to Alexander Usyk. How come? It doesn't. That's what I'm telling people. It doesn't matter how small you are, okay? Vander Holyfield was a heavyweight that wasn't respected until he went to war with every fucking body. Moore, Bo, Lewis, Tyson, Foreman. Nobody respected this guy at all. Nobody respected him. And he had to make his own way. Usyk's going to have to be the same. And who does Usyk look up to more than anybody else? Evander, the real deal Holyfield. Why do you think that? Because he knows. You've seen him get bashed around by fucking Derek Chisora and still was able to take it. And who says Chisora can't punch? Did he punch Usyk? We know the what are the narratives that British fighters cheat, right? That's what they were trying to say Chisora did to Usyk. So if Tyson Fury cheated Wilder and Chisora cheated Usyk, Wilder couldn't take it, but Usyk could, and then win. Right? Holyfield was on Holyfield was on the juice. Holyfield, yeah, he was on the juice, wasn't he? But juice don't make you win fights. D1991J, am I religious? No, I'm not religious. Okay, I'm a God-fearing person. There's two different things. Okay, a lot of people say I'm spiritual. That's that millennium shit. No, I'm spiritual. No, I'm just a God-fearing person. So I guess if that's what you meant, yeah. But religion can mean any fucking thing, you know. But it is what it is. Big up Kurt. Wilder cannot box on the back foot. For me, Fury outboxes him, roughs him up, and then puts it on Wilder and gets him out of there in 5 rounds. Very much the same conclusion. Well, if that's the same conclusion, we have to see it because Wilder is making damn sure that it's going to happen. Usyk was smaller than Kurt and faster. I think he's lost some of his advantage at heavyweight. Where at? Steve, he was faster where? You mean when he was a cruiserweight fighting Vladimir Klitschko or sparring Vladimir Klitschko? I personally don't think that Usyk has got any slower at heavyweight. However, there is a twist to that. If Usyk continues to gain weight, he would get a little slower. I think it would affect his speed, and I think it would affect his stamina. Because if you're naturally not that big and you keep adding weight on you, it can only be for your downfall or your demise or for your disadvantage. If you don't believe me, ask Deontay Wilder. He gained 10 pounds and shit, his legs stopped working. The legend. Wilder the legend. Salute, Kurt. What's your thoughts on Fury possibly being promoted to franchise champion? The outlaw pugilist. If Fury becomes a franchise champion, that means that Mauricio Sulaiman made that possible. That means that Mauricio is behind something else that is probably far worse than anything that anybody else could have done. Now, I will say that, okay, because if he gets all of a sudden, hear me out, people, if Fury gets promoted to franchise champion now that all this shit has happened, Mauricio can't say, I didn't know of Wilder winning this arbitration before I made my decision to make him franchise champion. Bullshit. He can't say that no more. Like, he said some screwy shit. Like, I didn't know if this, I forget what it was, but it was something huge. And I'm like, yo, you don't even know what's going on. Like, you're supposed to be on top of this shit. You're supposed to get like fucking emails that come to you that let you know certain things are happening in the sport from people on the inside. Mauricio Sulaiman should have like Michael Benson and all these guys, Dan Rafael, all these guys. He should have them on notification on each time something happens in the sport. So he can't say, I didn't know about Deontay Wilder winning. I didn't know this before. No, that means you would know. Okay. And if you do know, that means you did that for a reason. That means you elevated Tyson Fury to franchise champion because you wanted to save the status of Fury being where he was. And if he did that, I'm going to tell you why he would do that. If Mauricio did that, he would do that because of money. He doesn't give a shit about Wilder. He doesn't give a shit about Fury. He doesn't give a shit about any of these fighters. He cares about money. That's why he made the Bridgerweight division, because he wanted more fucking money in his pocket. That's why. He don't care about the size of fighters. Okay, if you cared about that, why didn't you do that fucking years ago? When you had Lennox Lewis weighing 250 pounds and Michael Grant, why didn't he do that then? Okay, so don't give me that shit about, oh, I'm making this for people that are, get the fuck out of here, man. Get the fuck out of here. Okay, that did not happen. Mauricio would have done that because he wanted to see Tyson Fury take on Anthony Joshua, and the amount of money that he would make coming from the WBC on top of the sanction and fees that he would get from that champion being the WBC champion, whoever that is. their stock will plummet, right? So he knows he will get more money than seeing Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury happening for the third fucking time. That's it. That's why he would do that. That's exactly why he would do that. That's the only reason he would do that. Okay? He's worried about the money. Absolutely. Let me get to these super chats here. Canelo beats Fury and Wilder. Get the fuck out of here. Okay. Canelo being a fucking super middleweight. Diehard Knicks fan since I was swimming in the sack says, crazy how Fury let the boxing fans think the undisputed showdown would happen, even telling people Wilder let contract run out. Extremely shady. The question is, though, okay, to be fair about Fury, I don't want to just shit on Fury. Not only more than I already have, but I just, you want to look at things fairly. Okay. The question is, did Fury know did he just listen to Bob and take Bob's word for it? Okay, so that's another way you can look at it. You got to look at it in different perspectives. Like, did Tyson Fury know that? Because see, here's the thing. Well, why would Tyson Fury be worried about money that he could get from a fighter that he knows he's not going to get in the ring with? Mind you, let me clear that up. In the ring with. So why would he want the money? Why would he care about the money if he knew that he had to fight Wilder? I think just looking at that, because if he was that worried about the money, then hell, that's what his whole objective was to get paid the retirement check. Remember that? I don't think Fury really 100% thought that he would lose. I don't think that he did. Okay, so you want to be fair about it. Feed the Bear coming in with 30 pounds, 30 quid. AJ hasn't got the skills to beat Fury. Easy night's work. Ooh, Feed the Bear. Who would contest what the Bear? Beware of the Bear. Dropping those counter punches and those donations. Appreciate the love, brother. And here's another one. Bars. Well, let me find it. Because we have everything coming in. Usyk beat Joe Joyce, who is a big man. Antonio, counterpunch to you. Boom. Now, see, there you go. And Joe Joyce is, look, who's praising Joe Joyce? They're praising Joe Joyce for punching the shit out of for punching the shit out of Daniel Dubois and breaking his face. Right? And to be fair, guys, Joe Joyce did say, like, hey, there's a lot of those punches I kind of, I rubbernecked away from. He didn't really get hit like solid with a lot of them. I mean, you've seen him clearly take some punches, but they weren't like they could have been if he didn't do certain things to keep them from having the full impact. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so, a grazing hard punch from a punching guy like Dubois versus a guy that catches you, or smaller guy that catches you flush with punches you don't see, which one you think is going to affect you or stop you from doing what you need to do? The punches you won't see. Okay? I think at the end of the day, I think Alexander Usyk is that guy. He's that guy. Pete Geary coming in with that £4.99 super chat. Does Bob and Frank talk to each other? One said one thing, other said another thing. Problem on having two promoters. Pete Geary, let me counterpunch. I don't think half of these guys let one hand know what the other hand's doing a lot of these times. Why? Because look at Frank Warren. When he was the silent, when he was the British promoter that was supposed to promote Joshua Wilder when the $50 million was brought into play. Okay. See, he was around and he knew about his involvement in Steven Espinosa, knew nothing about it. He said that no, there was not going to be anybody else. But then Frank Warren was like, I was going to be that somebody that supposed to be nobody. So no, I don't think these guys talk to each other at all. I think they're all on ego trips. I think they talk to each other only when need be. And they all say different shit and they don't communicate with each other. You know what I mean? That's sad. You guys will sit back and talk shit about Eddie Hearn, but you guys won't even talk to each other, and you're supposed to be on the same freaking team. Wow. That baffles me. Britt's about to have 0 belts. Ooh, Green Man. Now explain that to me there, Mo Frere Bonjour. Joe DeLeon. The venue was made just in case when arbitration was done, they have it lined up already. Joe, if that was the case, that means that Bob Arum really bullshitted everyone. That's what that means. That means he really bullshitted everyone. Why? Because that means why didn't he tell, there's all just in case? He could have informed everybody what he was going to do. Why would he do that shit in private or without informing the public? Like, hey, I do have set aside venue for Wilder and Fury. Why didn't he say that when he was mentioning the possibility of fighting Wilder? Why didn't he say that then? He could have said, well, in fact, just because I had a little smidgen of doubt, I made the venue available for the 24th of July, Wilder, Fury versus Wilder 3. Why didn't he say that then? That would have been the time to mention this statement, to mention this news, right? Promote Fury to franchise champion. And let Dillian White and Wilder fight for the regular belt. Fuck that. Hell no. But if that happens, Mauricio Suleiman is 100% in the shit house. He's a dirtbag. Like Regis Progress say from New Orleans, shout out from New Orleans. Shit water. He's straight up shit water because like there is no way that you will now elevate Tyson Fury to fucking franchise champion and then have Wilder fighting Dillian White. And you know what that really means? That means that you won't never get Dillian White. What if Dillian White beats Wilder? That means he's still under Tyson Fury some type of way. STE, stay with the $20 pounds or $20 pounds with the 20 pounds. It's like fucking 9-foot-inch nails. He says, I'm emotional about this. UK fan been waiting to see AJ at Wembley. Love him. Love Fury too. This denies us Brits the biggest showdown. Wilder is not a boxer. He's a fraud. Respect and love to you for your channel and U.S. boxing fans. Appreciate you, brother. Look, I can imagine you guys from the U.K. I can only imagine how you could be upset. I mean, I would be too. I mean, I'm not happy about it, but I'm happy with understanding there's justice to be made. You know, like, hey, see, understand this, people. This is how we need to look at it too. Wilder is a person that thought everyone was against him. Okay? So we have to really think. We have to really think that and understand that hopefully now Wilder can positively move on when he knows that not everyone is against him. Not everybody that doesn't know him, that has the a skin color opposite of his, is going to rule against him. Does that make sense to everybody? Like, Now Wilder can say, you know what? Justice was done. Justice was found. And not everybody that doesn't look like me is against me. Because damn, look, Deontay Wilder doesn't look anything like Mr. Weinstein. Right? So there you go. Exactly. You got to agree with justice. What's right is right. You know, to fight Wilder again, that's exactly what happened. Okay? That's exactly what happened. Feed the Bear. Appreciate the love, brother. Appreciate the love coming in from Feed the Bear. Shit, the bear is feeding me. Counterpunch to you. What's up, Counterpunch? I've been Counterpunch to you. Bruce Lee, the real McCoy. Usyk beat prospect Joe Joyce in a 5-round match. This is what y'all bragging about. No, it just shows he can handle big guys. Think about it. Joe Joyce, Vladimir Klitschko. He knows how to fight those guys. It ain't like he's looking like he doesn't belong. What I'm saying, Usyk belongs where he is. That's what I'm saying. And don't be surprised if Usyk is a guy that's able to do something because of his size. Just because he's small doesn't mean he's not able to execute his game plan just because he's small. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. Kurt looking about 10 years younger, knowing that his boyfriend doesn't have to fight Fury. Now, what doesn't make sense about that shit is you just said, I'm just telling everybody that Usyk has a good possibility to beat Joshua, and you say some shit like that. Fuck off. And you've been counterpunched. Kurt Milley coming in with that super chat. Do you think Fury has assurances from the Saudi crown prince that they'll pay any damages owed to Wilder? Ooh, London town locked in as always, brother. Hey, man, Kurt Milley, first of all, appreciate the love. Second of all, that's a very, very good question. If Tyson Fury's talking to Saudis directly, he could probably have a deal like, hey, here's the thing. That's because like if Tyson Fury doesn't fight Wilder, right? If he doesn't fight Wilder, okay, then what would Wilder and then Weinstein could do? What are they going to do about it? That's the big question. What the hell are they really going to do about it? You know, but we have to see what Fury decides to do. Everybody's talking about Wilder. We already know what Wilder's going to do. So stop. We know Wilder, he's fought his ass off to get where he's at outside the ring, right? Through the self-doubt of people, everybody against him, right? Everybody is against him. So at the end of the day, it's like, okay, well, what do we do now? So this is what we have. So we have to see what Fury decides to do now that he's lost. That's what we're going to see. But if the Saudis can somehow pay the money to that, what you just got, let's see, you just sent me a message. Okay. What message was that? Feed the Bear coming in with that $10 pound super chat. You mean you sent it on the gram? Come on, you sent that on the gram? It seems what we need to understand is that Wilder was owed this fight. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And it was owed to him. They signed a contract. Okay, that's that. Hold on just a second, guys. Okay, we are back. No, we are back in this piece, and we have some super chats. Let's see what we have here. Kurt, did you see the video? Let's see. No, I didn't see the video, but I'll check it out. Did you send it to my Instagram? Send it to my Instagram. The Fury Fraud Squad deserves this outcome. Fish eyes and company or disgrace. I'm a UK fan, but now I hope Wilder irons out Fury. AJ will destroy Usyk. Wow. That's Simon Usyk with his counterpunch. Well, they deserve this. I mean, justice is served, people. What's right is right. I mean, we can't, there's no way around it. You can't talk about the popularity Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Are we here? Hello. Can you guys hear me all right? Fury is going to die in the trilogy. Wow. Nice, nice. We are back online. I do apologize, guys, because this shit had to happen right now. We were only online what, about an hour? But no, I think this has to happen. What's right is right. And I feel that at the end of the day, no, man, I had to disconnect my mic. So I wanted to see if it was the router of this this hotel I was staying at. So MTK got you. Nah, not here. Kurt works perfectly fine without you. Okay. Think Wilder will die. There's no Mark Breland to save him. Oh, wow. NTB, that's cold. The trilogy has no interest unless you're a wildhead who believes that their twerking cheated without any evidence but 1,000 excuses. Hey, that's spot on. Because a lot of people, those are the people that would have vested interest. You know? No, I'm good. Robert Brown, I'm good, man. I am very good. I am very good. No, Lady Shan, what's up with AJ Snapchat? What happened with his Snapchat? You know, I just actually joined Snapchat. You know, I thought it was for kids, but I just joined, so we'll see what he has. Fury needs to sue Wilder for defamation of character. You know, I heard sporting icons mention that before. You know, and it's an interesting concept because I mean he's entitled to do so. Instead of just walking and quitting and walking away from a fight, you could have walked away with a lawsuit. You let a man take you to court on top of that same man giving you a reason to take him to court. So it's crazy. It makes no sense to me. Okay, cool. Where did you send it at? Did you send it through what? Lady Shan, how did you send it? Obviously, he didn't need Mark Breland. He looks better already. So who was really the problem? I wouldn't say it was Mark Breland. I think it was a combination of his ego and JD's letting him get away with shit. If you got a trainer that don't really let you train, how good is he? I mean, let's be real. Can't blame that on Mark Breland. Now Fury has to gain weight quick to sit on Wilder's face. Oh, man. You guys are a trip. Oh, man. Book the autopsy. Book the damn autopsy now. Wow. I mean, look, if you're a Fury fan, you shouldn't be pissed off. The only people should be mad is Hearn, well, Joshua first, then Eddie Hearn, okay, then Joe Joyce, because see, Joe Joyce has to take a backseat. Kurt, show us the video, or maybe at Lady Shan. Can't wait to see the fear look in Wilder's face. That was a fucked up look that Wilder had. I ain't gonna lie. That looked like he fucking seen a ghost. Like he was fighting like a big ass Kelly Pavlik. You know, I can hear you but can't see you. Don Mack. I know I have it turned off.
If Wilder wins, it will be bad for boxing. He won't fight AJ or anyone good. Ooh. Well, let's hope not. Let's hope not. Let's hope he does fight. I hope he says he's in love with boxing again or in love with boxing. So let's see how much in love with boxing. If he does get past Fury, right? Because he was favored to beat Fury, right? At the end of the day. So at the end of the day, it would be right on track. So it is what it is. Soldier Boy, can't wait to see Wilder KO Fury in the first round. Look, if Wilder does that, he's back on top and he's the two-time. He's just like AJ. One loss, 7th round, coming back. Look, and if he knocks out Fury, a lot of people will argue then, like, hey, not only did he get revenge, he got revenge in a savage way. Bars. You know what I mean? But guys, I appreciate you guys coming on. I got to check out some other stuff. I got to actually go to work today. So we will conclude tomorrow. We'll do a live stream there to see how everything progresses. But I thank each and every one of you. All the love, all the support, all the like, hate, and comments. And everybody, until tomorrow, you guys been Counterpunch. Stay tuned for some more videos coming your way. And you guys be safe and have a nice day. Bars. Until then, you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.